Hi everyone, welcome to the Content Takedown. This week I'm joined in the Content Takedown chair by Sharleen Herz. She's a style coach. She's going to tell you a little bit about what she does. Charlene, welcome to the Content Takedown.
Well, hi.
Hi.
Hi, Felicity. This is fun. I'm actually kind of got to go backtrack a little bit. I was a dentist for 35 years.
Wow.
Then I said,
Teeth.
teeth. But what I got out of the teeth thing is that's really what we see. First thing, we watch people's mouth. When you meet somebody, you're watching how they speak. You're
Subconscious.
They don't do it. But it's we hear better. We hear better when we can actually see somebody's mouth.
Yeah.
So, and my favorite thing to do in dentistry was smile makeovers. It was just having people, you come in, this is bothering me, you walk out, and you're happy about the way your smile looks.
As a Brit, I've got to say that's a very American thing, which is funny.
Well, I'm very American, so there you go. But I thought, it made me happy. And then I'm like, okay, it seems superficial. Okay, maybe I'm a superficial person. Americans, we are a bit the superficial side. I shouldn't say that, but
I'm not commenting on that. I'm not touching that with a barge pole.
Don't touch it, but it is. Look at it. And now social media, everything's just what you see.
Yeah.
Everything's what you see. And I got to a point where I was scheduling extra time for patients because I wanted to talk to them.
Wow. Okay, and that led you to becoming a style coach.
Yeah, because I want to, I want to have people smile from the inside.
To influence the aesthetic.
So and then I came to Israel and I, did meatball dentistry, and that really chased me away from dentistry completely. So
wow.
That's me.
That's interesting. I love hearing about all the backstories, and because you start with dentistry and then you end up with style. So I don't understand how the twain shall meet, but now you've just explained it. So that's great. So on that subject, Charlene, what are we going to be taking down today?
We're going to be taking down the About page on my website because, partially because my husband wrote it, and then I went back and I rewrote it because, you take these courses, you get this advice, and it doesn't work for me.
Okay. I mean, look, you're very about the aesthetic, and like you said, the internal aesthetic coming out and shining through. And I think, from someone who has used a style coach before, I have no style whatsoever. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've had someone sit there and say, probably what you do, sit there and say, this is what you should wear, and this is what flatters you, and blah, blah, blah. I know that someone very, in order to choose a style coach, you have to really kind of connect to the person. You have to see if they understand you. You have to understand who they are as a person. So that's why an About page is so important. And it's something that most entrepreneurs don't understand. They think, oh yeah, the homepage, or the landing page, or my service pages, that's where the money is made. It's not. It can be, especially for something so personal, like dentistry, actually, like style, it has to come from the About page here. So I'm really glad that we're doing this. So let's have a quick look and take down your About page. Oh, very nice that you've got a lead capture. I'd even say this lead, I know we're not talking about this now, but this lead capture could even be stronger. I would even give them a little freebie, like Charlene's 10 top tips to update your style. My top tips to what to throw out from your cupboard, or top things you're wearing wrong. Something that's going to scare people, and then they can subscribe. They get something in exchange for something.
I'm going to say something. I had no idea this was doing that.
I see. Okay. Well, that's fine. That's something we've talked about. We'll talk about that offline afterwards as well, but I do think a lead capture would be amazing here. A lead capture is something where you give someone a piece of content. So for example, like I said, those top tips, if they download and join your email list.
Yeah, no, I have a top tips blog post. So it'd be really easy. I just need to get into
put it into a document.
Put it there instead.
Yeah, and the key thing here is that you need to give someone something so they can download it, and that they only get access to the downloads once they've given their email address.
Yeah, it's just funny. I don't know where that came from.
Interesting. Okay, we'll talk about that another time, I think. Let's do the About page.
I've been doing a lot of work on my website. So
amazing. So you can come back. We'll do another content takedown on each page of your website. It'll be great.
That would be awesome.
Lovely. Okay, so
apart. Good.
Not ripping apart. We're like deconstructing and building back up. Okay, so lovely.
We're making things better.
Yes, exactly. Oh, I like the availability calendar. Okay, so did you know that a recent Princeton University? Okay, so the first thing that I like to do when I look at any piece of content, I like to see where the CTAs are. Okay, so this is not, the CTA is not above the fold. That is not above basically this bit. I have to scroll down in order to see it. That's completely fine, because people do want to read about this. You know, they do want to see who you are, where you come from. There she is, dentist. Okay, so that's one. The first thing that strikes me about this without really reading it is it's very short. And that's also completely fine if you want it to be short and sweet. But I would say for you, you know, as a style coach, you need to kind of explain yourself a little bit more. So I would even have blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I would talk about, you know, all this bit about, I'm the recent Princeton University, 1/10 of a second. My name is Sharleen Herz, I'm styling, blah. I would then do a nice little section, like a new header, saying like about me, and then go into the stuff about the dentist. Because this, it's a one paragraph, it doesn't have any of the depth that you talked about with me just a minute ago.
Right.
I wouldn't have made the connection between, I make people smile on the inside, blah, blah, blah. I would talk about everything you just said, you know, all the stuff about, they came in, I realized I was taking more time to speak with them. I realized I wanted, you know, I was working on their smiles, blah, blah, blah. And then I realized I can make them smile on the inside, etc., etc. Okay,
Right.
just a little bit longer, even another paragraph or two. Then another section explaining how you transition from the dentist to the style coach. And then you can talk about this, you do about the eye for detail. I realized that smiles are this, and then I realized style is that, and blah, blah, blah. And then after that, I would talk about, you know, what you do nowadays, people you've helped, maybe links to, do you have like case studies? Okay, so you've got to add case studies and before and afters and everything, because that's very powerful for all of your marketing, for all of potential clients. Yeah, I would talk about case studies. I would talk about, you know, how your process, your ideas, you know, do you look at someone and say, right, that's for you, or are you much more about discussion? I'm guessing you're much more about discussion. Yeah, that's who you strike me as, you know, all the times spoken. Exactly. And then I, you know, talk about like process, how you know, maybe contact someone for a style, blah, they contact you, sorry, and then you go shopping together, or you advise, etc., etc. And then I have I know this is getting super long. I have another section talking about the services you offer. So it could just be style consulting. It could be wardrobe. I don't know how to say that, like wardrobe ripping apart, wardrobe editing. Is that what you call it?
You know, closet purge is the
Yes, see, we got there eventually. I mean, I literally just remember someone coming in and like going through my wardrobe, and then suddenly like I had a quarter of it left, and she was just, it all happened so quickly. I loved it. I love that kind of stuff, just destroying stuff and, you know, building it back up. You know, and then you can have the schedule consultation. But even then, I would have the schedule a consultation button a few times throughout the content, because it's now gone from like 100 words or 200 words to like 400, 500, 600. But I honestly think that's what you need, because like I said, people get to know you, and they get to know your story. Sorry, that was a lot of information.
Yeah, I'm going to ask for the recording. So
of course, I'm going to send it to you. What do you think about that? What do you think about the structure I've suggested?
I think it's great. I get stuck with, I have this lovely story about myself that I'm not a wordsmith.
Fine.
So I would, you know, and if you know, I'm careful what I write, as opposed to just, you know, because I don't, otherwise I just throw things up on paper and I write the way I speak, and
You should write the way you speak. That's very engaging. That's why most people have, and especially entrepreneurs, they think, oh, this needs to sound very like rigid and it needs to be like perfect. No, people like talking to people. They like hearing things explained in a nice, very accessible, colloquial way. You know, so write like you speak. That's fantastic.
Because
that's what people get involved with. That's what they like.
My husband's a lawyer and he's a writer. He blogs, he's writing all the time.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little intimidated, to be honest.
Don't be at all. The thing is, and I worked with lawyers. I've worked with especially lawyers who write as well, like as a side project, you know, like legal writings, blogging, that kind of stuff, because they also have to advertise themselves. It can be very, very difficult for them to switch, because legal writing, everything legal is a very different, very factual, very, you know, like research heavy thing. they have that problem kind of like calming down and being accessible and being interesting when they're writing. So it's really interesting that you can do that. You know, you like writing and talking to people and everything. Your husband's writing is probably very, very different in style. And that's what I'm seeing here when we're looking at this. It doesn't feel like you know?
No, yeah.
And since you're working in a business where people really want to get to know you, it needs to come from you. So it should sound like you speak.
Okay.
Yeah. But like otherwise, you know, I think this is it's a very common problem with entrepreneurs. They usually don't like to say too much. It either goes one or two extremes. Like it's people write far too little or too much, and it shouldn't. It's usually the wrong way around. It should either be too long or like longer or shorter. So for you, it should be much longer.
Okay.
So Sharleen, how do you feel? We've taken down your about page.
I got work to do. I think I'm gonna record it and transcribe the recording.
Record this session?
Yeah, I'm just not this. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna just speak
record
it.
yourself speaking? Definitely. Do you know what? I have a video about how to do that, so I'll send that to you as well.
Oh, that would be great.
Yep.
I think that's just easier, and then I don't have to be searching for words.
Of course, no, definitely have it how you speak and then edit it afterwards, so it like just makes sense. You don't have all the little like you know, like pauses and everything in there. Great, Sharleen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It was so much fun.
Thank you. Yes, I exactly. It's fun. It's easy, and it's, you know, impactful. So thank you for joining us as well. If you would like to be featured on my next content takedown, please get in touch, DM me, message me. We'd love to have you.